The views expressed on the following broadcasts do not necessarily reflect those of KHLT, Take 12 Radio, or our affiliates. The opinions on this show should not be considered as medical, psychological, or professional advice and are those of the host, co-host, and guest. Take 12 Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting are not affiliated with any particular 12-step fellowship.
You must surrender to the beat. Yeah, baby. Have some hope and get up on your feet. Keep your faith in the right direction. Search your soul and gain reflection. Come on, people, do the Buddha boogie with me.
That's right, it's Buddha time. Step up to the front of the line. This is a place where real stories meet real growth. This is where you'll hear from the people who are doing the work, showing up, and finding light in the everyday grind. Ha ha. These aren't headlines. Nope, these aren't sidelines. These are soulful, down-to-earth conversations with people who inspire change on the front lines of life, recovery, healing, and community. So slow it down, tune it in, and find your own front line because, my friends, it's Buddha time. And now, here's your host, Tommy Buddha.
People, do the Buddha boogie with me. Oh, I was lost in my song. It's my song. You know, that song was written about the 12 steps. That's exactly what that. So listen to the lyrics.
Yes.
12-step song.
Yeah.
You know, it was just the last song I added to this album I did. So I'm real excited, but you know how we have to always start, right? We always start with useless information.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do. A one and a two.
It's time for some useless and mindless info. Facts that mean absolutely nothing, you know. So hold on tight, it's gonna be wild. A total waste of time, like a playful child.
All right, what you got for us this week, Tommy?
Well, I got a couple of things, as always, because you've made me go down this, you know, I've been doing deep dives into useless information. I thought I had a lot of my own useless information. Apparently, there's tons of it, right? So
Tons.
I went today, and I found one of the things I found out today is that 4 out of 5 children are able to recognize McDonald's logo by the age of 3.
That is sad.
That is really sad. Right? That's insane.
Oh, man. The
Like
golden
a
arches.
kid at 3 is going, McDonald's. I love that, right?
Well, hey, it's a trap.
And you know what else I found out today? And I think I knew this, and I'm surprised this isn't useless information.
Yeah.
Junk food can actually be addictive.
It's designed
know
to be,
that?
I believe.
I figured everybody knew that one. I didn't know if that was useless. I think that's pretty important information.
You know, I really, and okay, call me a conspiracy theorist, but it's not a conspiracy if it's true, right? I'm just saying, or it is a conspiracy, but whatever. But here's the deal: processed food. I really believe this. Processed food, sugar, manufactured sugar. This is designed to keep you in a loop that's unhealthy. And yeah, it's bad. It's a bad. Yeah, we could do a whole show on that stuff, but that's the negative.
It's been proven. I got a couple more for you. Just one more. Did you know a giraffe can clean its ears with its 21-inch tongue? Try that. See
My
how far
brain
you
is going places it not go. I got to tell you, so I went out of Africa it's around Sedona somewhere. It's huge facility. It's an amazing thing where they care for animals that are wounded and injured, and they, that kind of thing. And a giraffe leaned down and kissed me on the lips.
Surprised he didn't stick his tongue down your throat.
Well, he didn't kiss me with his lips. He kissed me with his tongue.
That's crazy. You could have wrapped his tongue around your head.
They're very gentle creatures. Just
All
don't
right.
tick them off. You got any more?
Yeah, I got another one. It was my favorite. Al Capone had a business card. And you know what he sold? He sold used furniture.
You know, I heard that.
He
I
was a
heard that
used
he was.
furniture dealer.
Yeah. Wow.
Wonder where he got that furniture. Didn't pay for it, I'm sure.
So you want to hear mine? I only have one.
Sure.
Today, this is an actual registered day. Today is National Shave Your Poodle Day.
What if you don't have one?
They made a national day. Well, you got to go out and get one. Otherwise,
It's
pack your bags.
National Go Get a Poodle Day. Or shave somebody else's poodle, and then they shoot you or something.
All right.
Shaving.
Let's
All
close
right,
up
right.
useless and mindless information, and then we have somebody with us that I think you folks are going to want to meet. So hang on to your horses. We'll be back right after this. Hit it.
Let's celebrate nonsense. It's a marvelous ride. A total waste of time. Come join the fun side.
Yes, indeedy. All right, Mr. Tommy Buddha, who do we have on the show this week?
We have somebody I've been waiting to talk to for a long period. We always try to talk to each other, but we're both so busy. It's incredibly hard to do. We'll get on the phone. We have a lot of ideas. We want to do this. We want to do that. And because we're so busy, we never get to it. So now I got her for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got her for an hour. Nancy Labov from New Jersey, Bergen County, New Jersey. She runs a nonprofit called Alumni in Recovery. And I have found a lot of interest in that program. And I met her at a big event, which they have a big event coming up soon, right? Their Recovery Day. It's a Recovery Day where they celebrate all sorts of facilities that help people. And she fits right into what we want to do.
Yes.
Right? Getting people that are on the ground, helping people, and also struggling, because it's very hard to be funded for these things. But Nancy's been doing it for a long time, and I give her a lot of credit for that. So I want to give her some exposure. I want to talk about what brought her there. And hey, Nance, how are you?
Hello, Tommy Buddha and Monty Meyer. Thanks for having me on.
AlumniInRecovery.org is the website, folks. If you want to write that down, it's going to pop up on your screen right about now at 7.51. There you go. AlumniInRecovery.org. Welcome, Nancy.
Welcome. So first, I want to treat this kind of like I would treat, like if I asked you to speak at a meeting, right?
Okay.
Because you've been in recovery for a long time, right? When you came into recovery when you were young, and you've been in recovery for how long now?
36 years without anything, any substances.
Right. So you've been at this a long time, and then you also, when you came into recovery, you went into the health field, correct?
Oh, I was in the health field. Yeah.
So what was that like? What were you doing?
Oh my goodness. So when I was in nursing school back in Boston, right? Because that's where I lived in Massachusetts. The one thing that the nursing teachers used to always tell us was that, the empathy for your patients. I was like, oh, I think I'm lacking. And then they put me on a rehab unit for a clinical rotation, and I had empathy. And I didn't even know why. I really didn't. I thought it was because of my family, with all their alcohol issues. But I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be an addiction nurse, yes. And I was still drinking and partying. And I'm so glad I wasn't an addiction nurse when I got out of nursing school. But it just appealed to me greatly.
So
And these experiences helped you with your choices on going in the direction you are today.
What's that?
These decisions, this
Yes.
lifestyle and what you were doing being in the nursing industry helped you, get to where you are today.
Where I get to today, when I was in high school, I loved just being social and meeting everybody, and you'll get a kick out of this. And I don't even know if I really want to say this publicly, but when you remember those yearbook sayings, remember those? Your famous yearbook saying? Well, one time I was out with my friends partying in the middle of school hours, and I heard, if you can't be with the one you love, love the one you're with. You know, the eagle flies with the dove, you know, and that's what I'm using, because I think it's important for us to all be able to just come together and meet each other and be kind and loving. And that's where I was at. But I got laughed out of my house for it terribly, because they thought it was a sexual thing. So,
Oh,
but
Lord.
yeah, I love connecting with people. I love helping people come together, and you know, I had no idea that getting sober and being in recovery would allow me to actually meet all the people, because I met so many people and have been able to help so many people as a result of getting sober and clean.
What was it that made you get sober?
A drunken driving incident.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait. And I also had a family member that I've been very close to, that was able to carry the message that they do in 12-step recovery. And I really, really owe so much to that message, because the moment of clarity happened and that connection began. So I can't say enough about, you know, the power of us sober vessels being able to help others find the light.
So when you're talking about, like, we're talking about your journey to alumni and recovery, so how did that start?
Well, when I first got sober, because I got sober in Boston.
Yeah, you got in
Yeah,
Boston.
yeah.
Did you park your car in Commonwealth Ave and go get a frat?
All that. Yeah, I was 26, and well, actually, I was, you know, about 25 when I started, you know, my journey. But I always wanted to go back to a school and talk to the kids. I always thought that would just be so incredible, and I never chased it real hard, so I never was able to find a wheelhouse to do that at the time. So that kind of went by the wayside. You know, I had kids, and, you know, worked as a nurse on rehabs and psych units, and loved it. Loved every minute of that. Detoxes. And then by the time I was about 12 years ago, I came up with the concept of it, because I saw it in action. You know, I saw young people in recovery talking to kids in schools, because I brought them there, and I went, oh, we got to do more of this.
So you started working in a facility in Jersey, the Spring House?
That's where I began the journey with Alumni and Recovery.
Right.
Yes. I was working as their medical liaison, and I was asked to bring a couple of women who were young, you know, into a high school in Bergen County to talk to the kids in different health classes.
Right. And from that you saw, that's what you was talking about, that you saw the light in the eyes of what was going on.
I really was blown away, because it just reminded me of that, you know, the history of Alcoholics Anonymous, being that, you know, talking to another fellow person, giving testimony of one's own journey, with solution, of course, but that's how that all ignited. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, we could do this. We could actually allow kids in schools to get a really good message from maybe alumni of their school. Wow, how powerful.
Right. So was that your initial vision when you started the program? Did you see anything of like how it would be today? You know, because, you know, you probably just did it.
Grandiose. I got to be honest. I have huge visions, and of course, I could see it just going across the country, and that's not really the case. But what I had learned as somebody in recovery about that stick-to-itivism, you know, just stick to it, show up, keep doing it, keep doing it, what I said is, I'm going to just keep doing this because I really believe in it until it just becomes like, even if it just gets down to a trickle, I'm going to continue to do it. And if it ever stops, and that's that. It's not supposed to be, but it's never stopped, and it got very big.
All right. One of the things that I think about your organization, and I went to an event not too long ago. I think I hit the mic again. I went to an event not too long ago. When I was there, I was absorbing the room. I was kind of watching, you had politicians there, you had parents there, you had the Black Poster people there, you had all these things together. And I said to myself, that could be reproduced anywhere. Like, when you say it could be anywhere in the country, and your vision of that is, and I think that's a possibility.
Me too.
That was one of the things that, like, as I sat there saying, this is rubber stamp. You take this and you'll bop. You have one person call another person, a politician call another politician. It could happen that way.
I couldn't agree more. It's a very simple thing of just a couple of people, and you take two people that are able to go into a school that are young, relatable, go into a school that they're familiar with to talk to kids about the pathway of addiction, where they were at when they were that age, just some educational facts as well, feelings and all the things that you went through when you were young. And then you find somebody to connect them to a school. And if somebody has to do the outreach to the school, and you just build upon that recovery community, because we know they're all over the place, and there's going to be some young people that want to go speak in school. Not everybody, but there's going to be.
Yeah, especially people in recovery.
I have a question for Nancy. So, Nancy, I remember growing up, there was an organization called Operation Reach. I grew up in Sonoma County in Petaluma, California, and it was pretty much all over the San Francisco Bay Area. And Operation Reach, kids went in and got educated about drugs and alcohol. And, back then the slogan was speed kills. We had the Haight-Ashbury movement going on in the 60s and all that stuff. And then they would go through some training, and then they would go to the schools and they would talk about it. I think the big difference, and it wasn't effective, by the way, and I think the reason why, and see if you concur with this, the reason why was those kids, their hearts were in the right place, but none of them had experienced any of that stuff themselves. They were just textbook savvy. You know what I mean? And so they presented the truth. It was true facts. There were those big open board things, that had the samples of what a pipe looked like and all that stuff, right?
Right.
But it didn't keep me from experimenting, right? It didn't keep me from using, even though we used to have to watch a film called Red Asphalt, which was about drunk driving and a car slamming into the back of a.
Was I in it?
Maybe.
Is that your time? Oh, that's.
Was it from the 80s?
I think the reason this is effective, what you're doing, is because it's alumni. It's people that have been there or experienced it or have been in those family situations. And I don't know, young people aren't stupid. And when you're just giving them facts and you haven't been there, they're not listening. But man, when you've been there and you can, and another kid says to another kid, knee to knee, me too, man, I'm you. Right? Don't you think that's why it's powerful?
Yes. I mean, again, Bill and Bob did it, and they created a whole movement on it. But not just that. You can go back into time. The indigenous of all sorts of different countries always had storytelling. And it's so important to us to be able to relate and connect to our hearts. And I don't know about you, but when I got sober, I felt so disconnected. I wasn't like everybody. I was alone in a crowd. But when somebody got up, and it was a young guy that talked about his growing up, and it was so much like mine, I belonged.
Right.
I connected.
The day you hear your story,
I knew I was in the right place because of that.
The day you hear your story, it changes everything. Mm-hmm. When I got clean in the beginning, I was going to meetings for 10 years, on and off, in and out. And the first time I went into a room and somebody told my story, I was like, what? Oh my God, that's me.
because I wasn't paying attention. But once I heard my story, man, I was like setting meetings up. I was on fire because I finally belonged somewhere. It finally made sense.
Right.
And since then, I might have heard my story a million times. You know.
And today, this day and age, where especially people are kind of all in their own bunkers, as Brene Brown would call it, where we spend so much time on social media and on our phones, and certainly kids have their own social units and all, but still, there's so much disconnect in our world. And if we can light it up with stories, and we can empower community with being able to talk to each other and help each other in this way. There's
a couple of things that I really like about your program as well. And last week we had Jeffrey Veach here. Jeffrey Veach is a parent, right, who lost his son, and he ended up doing all this stuff to keep the legacy alive. He does, and one day we may be able to connect, right? You and Jeffrey, and but he did these things. His son was a musician. He put it on an album. He did some other stuff. There was a movie, and you also had parents bringing messages in.
Absolutely.
And that combination and that passion from that side. How does that message get across when you're doing that in the school?
Well, what's interesting is we started it thinking that we were going to do parent programs. That there was a time we went into like a after school in the evening PTA driven program, and I realized that we need their peers here to talk. It's great that the kids talk. I call them kids. I'm so sorry. That the young adults are talking.
Young adults,
right? But it's I said it would be great to start bringing in parents that have had experience. And so I started focusing, and we have basically parents that have lost their kids to overdoses or substance-related issues.
I want to talk about that in a minute, but the ones that I'm talking about, they didn't lose their kids. Or did they all have kids that passed away?
Everybody that speaks for our parent program have lost kids.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I just want to keep it as simple and as clear, as concise as possible. We've been approached by parents that haven't lost their kids, but have had issues with their kids that really, really want to talk. And I'm like, well, that's not our platform, because we're empowering this specialized group of people. And so when people listen to them, first of all, they are so passionate. They are so driven to be able to. They call it, turning pain into purpose. And and I really believe that our parent program they're the backbone of the organization. They help make sure that we get the right funding, that we create certain programs and keep us strong.
Right.
But they're extremely effective, and there's many of them.
I need to interject here really quick. Listeners, we are talking to Nancy Labov. She is the founder and CEO of Alumni in Recovery. You can visit the website at alumniinrecovery.org. It'll be linked up here at Take 12 Recovery Radio and on Buddha Time as well. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yeah, I want to talk about a couple of things that, that have happened with you. You've received some awards, all right, which I love the names of these awards. Hometown Hero. Hometown Hero, right? What is this? The Champion of Peace Award. Okay. And what do these recognitions mean to you?
I think it's extremely important to allow more people to know what we're doing. So whenever we get any of these awards, it's not just about me. It's about the team, about the mission, and it allows more people to know. I mean, you are helping the mission right now.
Right.
By highlighting it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So can you share any stories about any student and parent?
Yes.
Some stories about
I have a great one.
impact.
Wait, the impact? Okay, okay. I'll start with one story in particular. When we started out a couple like years in, there was this one speaker, Rahim, who went back to his school in Westwood, New Jersey, and
It's where
he
my
had
home group was.
shared like 6, 7 times that day to different like health classes, and he was an alumni, so he was there speaking, and he would share the story about how he didn't get his diploma because he didn't return his his textbooks, so he never got his diploma. So he shared that a number of times. It was just something for them to identify where he was at that time. He wasn't paying attention to school very well, and sure enough, the principal came in at the end and gave him his diploma.
Uh,
And
Oh, wow.
that was extremely touching.
oh
It was
yeah,
it's one of my favorite stories of all time. Would you like to hear another?
sure,
Yes.
Okay.
absolutely.
This is how it works. So I wanted to have this parent program, right? And then I also had this one speaker. His name was Jerry, and he wanted so badly to go back to his school. And it was a Catholic private school, and he wanted to get back in. He wanted to be able to speak. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll do what I can. So I reached out, because I'm persistent. One of those persistent bugs.
I've heard.
Yeah. And sure enough, nobody got back to me, but interesting. And I put it out there. I'm like, oh, I hope this works out someday. But anyway, what happened, and this was really quick too, I got a call from a man that became the director of our parent program, the original one. He was our second parent. But he called and he said, hi, my name is Tom, and I was given your number by somebody, because I'm a parent who lost my son, and I want to go back to St. Joe's as an alumni and be able to bring in a program, and I'm hoping you could help me. And that was the exact same school. And I said, really? Well, I have a young man that's so it was Tom and Jerry, interestingly, but I have a young man that that would like to speak too. So you two could do it together. And they did. And that was just amazing. And it was extremely impactful for the student body. And they did an evening program that night. It was great.
That's amazing stuff. That's the impact you're talking about, like the community impact that happens. I could even recognize, my own thing in that story, because when I went to school, in high school, I got kicked out of every school I ever went to because I was always in fights or drunk or whatever. And at the end, I came back to this school. This principal let me in, and they wouldn't let me graduate on the stage because of my behavior, right? And to this day, that bothers me. So I can imagine somebody who wouldn't get it because they didn't return a book. At least they had a reason for me.
Oh, no, he had plenty of other reason too. I'm sure they just got him on the books.
Yeah. So what do you think that, how it affects your community, like this program, the community in general? I know how it affects. Now, we just talked about cases of kids, but when I went to your event, it was packed with people, and it was packed with, like I said, all different people. The hospital, you have connections to different hospitals and stuff. So what do you think the overall community effect is?
Well, I believe that we are a conduit for community connections. We really aren't affiliated with anything. We don't buy into, needing to depend on anybody for anything, but we'd like to bring people together. So over the years, we have reached out to law enforcement and different treatment facilities. There's now all the peer recovery specialists, so there's recovery centers, and law enforcement knows that they just can't, arrest people anymore, that they have to treat people where treatment is needed. They offer it. And there's so many people in the community. We've had a number of events. So all these people add up, like different council people, different mayors, different just individuals within the community that have done something for alumni and recovery at one time or another, became part of our 10th anniversary celebration, and we all came together that way. So what I think is really neat, what's interesting is I used to throw a good party back in the day. I knew how to throw a party. Okay? I love throwing parties. I kind of look at myself now as kind of the addiction event planner in a way, because it needs to be done. We need to have space where we can come together in a way where it's always you listen to someone's story. You have to hear someone's story at any of these events. We just don't come together and for no other reason, but somebody has to speak and they need to be local. So that brings people
Yes.
together. It's like, this is a faith-based radio, right? Station.
Sure.
This is like church in a way. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's a way to bring people together from all sorts of walks of life. Because as we know in people in recovery, that this disease does not discriminate, that politics has no real play in all of it, and that we have to put that all aside right now because we have an epidemic on our hands. And this is a solution.
Yeah,
This is it. Let's show up. Let's show up in community events.
I'm glad you said this is kind of like church. The word church actually comes from a Greek word ekklesia, which simply means a group of people called out for a specific purpose. And that is literally what Take 12 Radio is doing. That's literally what you guys are doing at Alumni in Recovery, what Tommy's doing. When Tommy goes and shares his story and people gather, just like any speaker might, that's what you have. You have a church event. It's gotten a negative connotation to it, which is too bad. And one of the things that I love about Tommy Buddha is that he wants to focus on the positive, on these organizations like yours that are actually making a difference. We can talk all day. We can yell at the TV all day long. Just turn it on. You can yell at it. If you want to yell at it, listeners, go for it and then turn it off. But what the three of us are doing is trying to get, hit the reset button here, right? We're human beings and we need each other and we need our creator and we need faith in something other than our own intellect. The best way to get out of yourself is to get out of yourself and serve somebody. And that's what you guys are doing. So Tommy does. That's what you do. I just applaud that. I think it's absolutely amazing. Again, listeners, Nancy Labov is the CEO and founder of alumniinrecovery.org. Do you have a brick and mortar place that you work from, or is it primarily internet and you go out to?
Well, we go out too. We basically, our primary tier is speaking in schools. And we're not in school season right now. We have Recovery Day coming up, but we will go into a lot of schools starting September 10th is our first one. And we speak to about 8,000 students a year.
Wow.
Because right now it could grow, and I think it will grow because of people like you and people like our coordinators that we have now established that want to recruit more members. There's more people than me now that want to do this, and that's the best part about it is growing.
It's great.
You also expanded into Rockland County. You're in
Patterson. We're in Patterson, the city of Patterson. I don't know if you know the city of Patterson, Monty. It's it's a city that has has
a lot of problems.
It does. But it has some really good recovery.
A lot of good people too.
Lot of very good people, and there's a lot of drug selling there. Lots. Most people go to Patterson or Newark, primarily, right, Tommy?
In that area. More go to Patterson in that area than they go to Newark.
Right. So it's rough, but there's a thriving recovery community there, and so we have established Alumni in Recovery in Patterson of their people, of Patterson people.
Right.
For example. So, yes.
We're talking about the stigma. We're talking about the recovery, how we affect it. But how do you see it's changed in the last 12 years? Like, I mean, because we know everybody's talking about, oh, the deaths are coming down and, you know, they're less than they were. But, you know, 100,000 is a lot. And so, you know, 99. Now, you know, we're still losing so many people, you know. And what do you think about that? How has that changed? Like, you're giving all the information and you're seeing what are you seeing in the results? Do you see the improvements or not?
I see that there have been improvements through the combined efforts of many different counties, especially in New Jersey. I've gotten to see some working councils of different agencies besides Alumni and Recovery, but I see that what I find is the most important thing is that not only people recognize it and they're willing to educate and educate and educate. That's so key that they are attempting to reach the people within their communities with things like understanding naloxone and how to administer and that this is a disease process. I think the peer recovery specialist was a great addition to our national spectrum of addiction services because it's like the first person that is like within a treatment setting that can talk to them on a peer-to-peer approach. And that's been a huge asset, but I think that the community, there's a ripple effect, right? There's a huge ripple effect and you're either directly or indirectly affected by deaths and by active addiction, active alcoholism, right? And everybody's affected. And
Everybody.
yeah.
Everybody. Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
So that's why what we do is we empower local people. And I really believe that this is a time we get people in the grieving community, the recovery community, and people that are also just of community that want to help and make a difference. And they all can be involved. They can all take a part. We need your help.
Wow. Let's talk about the thing that we all hate, funding. Because, you know, it
I'm out
kills
of
me.
here.
One of my pet peeves, because I was involved with the Department of Justice. Like I was working with a company. We were funded by the Department of Justice for 3 years, and we're traveling all over New York State, doing concerts with kids and writing material. We're still doing it. They cut our funding, and it's not a political thing. It's just the fact that we had it for 3 years. They didn't give it back to us, which is understandable. But that being said, that left us a hole, right? And it really gets to me that there's billions of dollars that were given from the drug companies for all the debts, and none of it really goes to the street, or very little of it goes to the street. And I know that to be a fact because in New York, I know who controls the money. I know what they do with it. And it seems to be more, and some of it's good stuff. Some of it's really good stuff, but some of it isn't, and I don't think it really trickles down to an organization like yours or an organization like mine or many of them. And to me, it just gets on my nerves because they're deciding where that money goes, and they really are not. They're giving it to it's a good old boy network. That's the way I feel about it. My rant is over.
Yeah. Well, we have an epidemic of insanity. It's clearly obvious. We have a severe epidemic on our hands, and we're not treating it like a pandemic, or we're not treating it like other medical.
But it is a pandemic.
It is. It is the number one health crisis in the world. Number one health crisis in the world.
The fact that they don't say that this is a pandemic blows my mind because you know what the definition of a pandemic is? It's a disease that touches every continent. You can get high in a desert. You know what I mean? Like this is a pandemic. That's the problem.
I think that we're at a shift in our consciousness. at this point.
I hope so.
Me too.
I think I think it's happening. What side of it do we want to be on?
Yeah.
It's what side we each are empowered to make that decision, right? That how we want to go forward. And I can focus on the problem and the fears and the things that I can't control, but what I can do is get up and do something about it. And I want to empower others and ignite their inner powers to feel that they can do something too. It's to inspire each other, that we can help each other. But it really is a community. I think it's going to come down to grassroots all over the country.
100%. That's the concept of Buddha time. And that's
That is we the people for sure.
exactly what we started talking. I said, I want to create a community of people that are doing the groundwork, the people that are out there banging on the door and nobody's giving them a dime. I mean, your organization is in one of the richest counties in the country.
Yes, it's true.
Bergen County is loaded. You know what I mean?
You know why? Do you know why the prosecutor's office of Bergen County gets more money than any other county in New Jersey? This is one of those facts that could have gone on your phone.
Well, this is useful.
This is useful. Okay, take a guess. Why is Bergen County? It's because the George Washington Bridge is attached to us. And they need the money to deal with the drugs and weapons that go back and forth in and out of the port. So
because right over the bridge is Harlem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that is a truth what you said, and I really do believe that we can begin to shift and change things by just what we put into it. And I don't get paid, by the way. I'm a volunteer for Alumni in Recovery and have been. Oh, you too, Monty? You're raising your hand?
Yeah.
We're going to try and change some of that down the line, hopefully.
We'll see. I'll tell you what, I'm going to mirror what Nancy said, though. I'm going to keep doing it. My son said he's not going to put that microphone away until he dies. You got that right. You got that right. Listen, people.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the future holds, but my new prayer in the morning is not like how can I serve, the greater good and serve others. My new prayer is how can I serve myself so I can better serve the greater good and others. And it's really important that I continue to. I think that I want to just go away and take a vacation and take a sabbatical and go into the mountains for years. But what I really want to do is continue to live a purposeful life. So I better take care of this vehicle as best I can so I can do that.
Mental, physical, and spiritual.
That's right.
Got to work at it all. Right. And we're going to talk about two things. And one of the things is your meditation program. That's going to be. But I want to talk briefly about your event that's coming up on the 6th. That's where I originally met you. I met you at an event there with Christine from Bergen Pines, or what do they call it now?
They call it Bergen Newbridge now.
Newbridge now. That's a hospital.
It's in Paramus, New Jersey.
It's in Paramus, New Jersey. That is one of the people that helps Nancy with some things. And but this event, it's Recovery Day 2025. It's your biggest event of the year.
Yeah,
what makes it so important? What's about that event that's so important?
This is our 6th year doing it. We started it in the middle of the COVID pandemic. It's at a beautiful pool club. It was outdoors. It was perfect, and we can utilize that space basically for no charge because of the people that work there. My husband, and because he has an affiliation with them, but it's right on the Hudson River.
Yeah, it's
I was
beautiful.
just there today. I just did a little video with the manager, Joe, and it's just so breathtaking to look out onto the seagrasses that go way out into the river, and it's beautiful. But what is so special about this is that you get to hear speakers from recovery-based speakers. They don't, have to all be from, it's not AA, it's not NA, it's not, it's just, they could be working in the field, but everybody that's speaking is in recovery. And we have a band that offers up their time. Oh, we have Henrietta Seiberling's grandson. Does anybody know who Henrietta is? Yeah, that's right. That's right. And he's writing a book about her and her time with the founders, as he calls her a co-founder. And he's writing.
I love that. And there was that quote, thank the Lord, Henrietta, that God has cured me from this terrible, terrible illness. Henrietta Seiberling, you got me going now.
Yeah, you got to come.
Yeah. So where is this actually located at? And what is the actual day?
It's September 6th on the New York-New Jersey state line at Tallman Pool Club, which is at Tallman State Park. It's in Spark Hill, New York. And it's from 10 to 5. There's a rain date. We always have to have a rain date. That's September 7th. And it's just spectacular. We have lots of resources. We have a DJ that always comes back and volunteers this time. Musicians, we have like a whole new group that call themselves Rock in Recovery.
I was just going to say Rock in Recovery. I'm part of Rock in Recovery.
Yeah, we know those guys. Yeah, we know those guys.
I'm part of Rock in Recovery.
No,
me and Mark.
Rock in Recovery project that they are just musicians that are all in recovery that play for sober events that and they get together and anyway, so that, and then we have what's called Wellness Way, which has like different types of healing modalities where people can go visit them and get a little Reiki or get a little card. Somebody does card readings. Somebody does like some meditation type of ability for people, little coaching, and there's just different modalities so we have like 4 tents for them. It's just so sweet. And then we have there's all sorts of people. We have vendors and all the 12-step recovery people come. Oh, Stepping Stones came last year. They can't come this.
Oh, wow. Wow. Now, can people go to alumniandrecovery.org to find out information about this?
Absolutely.
Okay, alumniandrecovery.org, folks. Recovery Day 2025.
And if you want to hear Henrietta Seiberling's grandson speak, you can go on the Alumni and Recovery YouTube channel and find him. He's there. We have a recording of him talking.
That's cool. That's
okay. You answered almost all my questions.
Oh.
Wow.
You got me going.
I had them written out.
You got me going.
I want to say something about what you said about, and Tommy mentioned it too, this funding thing. what and people know this, and we've said it till we're blue in the face. You may not be donating today, but your purse is going to get hit one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
You are going to pay. I'm talking to every person out there that would ever listen to this, past, present, and future. You are going to pay for it.
Yeah.
One way or another, you are going to pay for it. Wouldn't you rather be part of the solution?
When we talk about pandemics or whatever, everybody I know, and I know lots of people, and everybody I don't know somebody who's been affected by addiction.
Absolutely.
There isn't a person in this country that hasn't had somebody they know, or a cousin, or an uncle, or a brother, that's either died, in jail, whatever. Because when you count up all numbers, you see, the problem with what they count with addiction is they only count death. Right. They don't count liver disease. They don't count DWIs. When they do those numbers, they count one number, death. Right. And that is amazing. The death is insane, more than all the wars we've ever had, right? But they only count that. If they put all the numbers together, how many people, I know a lot of people, during the pandemic, I don't really personally know somebody who died. There's probably a lot of people that don't know somebody who died. But I know many people who died from addiction. Yeah. And just about everybody I know knows somebody. So if you can't get your arms around this, get your arms around this. It's real.
Everybody that I know that's died, almost everybody that I know that's died, that I know personally, addiction played a part in it. I have a couple of friends that have passed away, but only a couple that were just natural causes, if you could call them that, right? Everybody else, And it's not just because I'm deeply involved in the recovery community. That
No.
a person could say, "Well, that's because everybody you know." Well, no, I got a lot of people I know and friends that I know that aren't in the recovery community. No, it's people. Yeah, it's
And if you add, like you said, we're all going to pay. If you add up the cost of the hospital stays, the cost of the rehabs, detoxes, all this stuff, the money they waste on dumb stuff that they could be given to an organization that sees 8,000 kids a year. You know what I mean? And could make it 16,000 with the right donation. Could make it pop up in another county with the right donation. So these are the things that really bother me about how money's distributed here and how we all struggle trying to get a message across. And we're on the ground. We're recovery people.
we're on the front lines.
We know the value. You know, so let's talk about meditation.
Oh, okay. Wait. Okay. Yes, we need to be more mindful as a society as a whole. And wouldn't it be nice that if the news covered something like the inspiring stories of the different organizations or the different, let's call it prayer circles online for the collective good, that there's lots of really good works going on that aren't even touched upon, by our news coverage at all. I was, but here's the thing. Okay, this is just a good little solution. This has always bugged me. Back when we had the pandemic, I shouldn't say bugged me, but I think it would be really easy to do. I don't see why nobody would do it. Back when we had the pandemic, the governors, if you recall, were on TV every day giving us the update. Remember?
I do remember that.
Not only were they giving us the update of who died, they were also telling us, like the effective measures that can be taken, right?
They were.
If we just did this
Isn't that
once a week
strange?
around the opioid epidemic, why couldn't we just have somebody go on once a week, if that a leader, to talk about this and to go over what we can do to change things and how we can make a difference, and talk about the deaths.
100%.
Talk about the deaths. And one of the parent members a long time ago used to say in her talk that she remembers the Vietnam War, and that every night was it Walter Cronkite would
He used to report the deaths. It was the marketing campaign for how many they killed.
Right.
Yep.
Well, no, how many Americans
And
died?
how many Americans died too. They did both.
Well, true, but what if we, she's like, if we just did that in our country, we don't even pay any attention. It's the most silent thing, and it's just part of the disease process. That's why I said we have an epidemic of insanity.
You know why? Because
we're all acting like we have the disease of addiction in some way, because we're all in I shouldn't say we're all in escapism, but we need to be more mindful, because if we become more mindful, we'll be more understanding of the substance that we're putting into us and why. Why? Right?
the exact nature has to be dealt with. But, I used to tell people, man, the problem with our country and when it comes to this is that when somebody sees something like happen or death or something goes down, they grab their kids, they shut the doors, they pull down the shades and say, don't go there. Don't go out there, because they think somehow, and like you said, if you said a parent in there that hasn't lost a kid, they're going to go in a parent. Don't do it. You shouldn't do it. Well, that isn't how it works. The only time you really feel the pain is when you have some sort of loss, some sort of thing happens, right? So most parents that haven't dealt with that, they shut the door and pull their kids inside, and they don't want them to be part of it. But you can't escape it. It's coming for you. It's coming for you. And that's the thing that we have to, that's why organizations like yours that make people aware, and organizations like the one I worked with that help people build self-esteem are so important.
I think it's important for us to see the recovery community and be able to see the face of recovery. As we see the face of recovery, we could better understand the disease process of addiction. And,
one of the things that's going to happen since, and some of you can see my shirt, it says Axe Social. Axe Social is a platform much like Facebook, but they're not trying to be Facebook or anything like that. And they've actually crashed a couple of times because it's got so many people joining. It's all positive. It's all about faith and courage and positiveness and encouragement. But it's also about awareness. And one of the things is like Buddha time. Well, one of the things that they're doing for us is every time, and this show's included, every time one of our broadcasts gets posted on YouTube, it automatically gets posted on Act Social. So church leaders, synagogue leaders, members of faith, people that are on this social media platform are going to see this automatically. So now the word's coming out to Act Social, which has thousands of people joining.
Beautiful.
So that's good news. That's good news. People need to be made aware of the good news. We've got the bad news, but there's good news. There's healing in the wings. It's there. It's coming for you too.
You ever listen to Positively Ernie?
What'd you say?
Oh, we're doing it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nancy.
Go ahead, Nancy. You go.
No, you said the Good Samaritan, right? The Good Samaritan law, right? Even just letting people know about the Good Samaritan law, which is, that you can go get help for somebody and call 911 and the police won't arrest you. They will take away your confiscated. But that Good Samaritan law, and sure enough, it's Good Samaritan, right? So the Good Samaritan, like you were saying about the people that were, come away from the windows, don't approach those people. They're bad. They're bad.
Right.
Why don't we go over and give them a sandwich and ask them if they need a little help? They might need a little help. You're homeless. You probably have some things that you need help with. Well, what could I do maybe to help you out? And so addiction, people get so afraid of people that are in active addiction, and they're just sick people. They just need some help. Yeah, they just need a little help.
Yeah.
You're just people.
Yeah.
Understanding. Yeah.
Amen. You guys, we are out of time. We have a closing song that we're going to be playing here, but Tommy, do you have some closing thoughts? Nancy, do you have some closing thoughts for the listeners?
You want to go first, Nancy?
No, I'm really, really happy to be here, and I'm going to check out that Act Social platform. Thank you for letting me know about that.
Yeah, you betcha.
Thank you, Tommy, for having me, and thank you, Monty. It's been an absolute pleasure being here.
Absolutely.
Namaste.
Let's stay connected because I think what you're doing is not only commendable, but as many people as possible need to know what's going on. And just bless you for it. Bless you for it.
We already talked today about doing some maybe panel, like with a couple of the people, like maybe bringing Jeffrey back, her back, and doing a panel of people that could connect. So,
Glynis Burke from the Black Poster Project.
Yeah, we didn't have time to talk about that, but yeah, I would definitely want to talk to her.
Yeah. I'll connect you.
Connect me, and we'll get her here, because that's an amazing project that they actually went to St. Patrick's Cathedral and set up a thing, right?
950 posters.
950 posters
people
in
that
St.
have lost
Patrick's
their
Cathedral.
lives. Yes.
So very, very intense. And they sometimes come to the school with Nancy as well. My thoughts are, man, I am so grateful. I'm so, so grateful. I feel the energy of trying to create a community, and the conversation inspires me. So I conspire to inspire you as well.
There you go.
That's all I got.
There you go. All right. After the song, I'll come back really quickly and to remind you where you can get a hold of Nancy and Alumni in Recovery, that whole thing. We got a great positive song, and we love this positivity stuff, especially when it comes to music. This is by my good friend Mike O'Brien, and it's called Might As Well Be Me. Check it out as we close out this episode.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot that could bring me down, but I'm not gonna go there. Today I wanna rise above. I could spend so much time in my head till I lose my mind, but I'm not gonna go there. Today I'll listen to my heart. Someone's gonna have a good day today. Might as well be me. Someone's gonna shine a light today. Might as well be me. Someone's gonna have a good day today. Might as well be me. Shine a light. Come on, let's shine. Won't you shine a light? Come on, let's shine. Someone's gonna have a good day today. Might as well be me. Someone's gonna have a good day today. Might as well be me.
Michael Bryan. All right. Listen, please visit alumniinrecovery.org. Our guest has been Nancy Labov, the founder and CEO. Thank you, Nancy, so much. And thank you, Tommy Buddha, for another great episode of Buddha Time. If you want to subscribe to this as well as all of our shows here at Take 12 Recovery Radio, visit us at take12radio.com, and you can subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Until next time, this is the Montyman along with Tommy Buddha, our guest, and the rest of the Take 12 Recovery Radio family, and we're wishing God's perfect serenity for you. Bye-bye now.
Come on, do the Buddha boogie. Do the Buddha boogie. Do the Buddha boogie. Do the Buddha boogie.
This has been a broadcast of Take 12 Recovery Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting.
Come on, do the Buddha boogie. Do the Buddha boogie. Do the Buddha boogie. Do the Buddha boogie.
This has been a Chicken and a Pig production.
Do the Buddha boogie. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.